The following program is presented by the Metropolitan Library Service Agency.
Hello, welcome to All About Kids, a program focusing on the interests of children and young people and some of the issues affecting them. Our guest today, Mike Hazard, is a video teacher in local schools. He works with students of all ages and grade levels, helping them understand more about how TV is produced. During this program, we'll also see some clips of video productions that Mike and his young students have made. And Mike Hazard, All About Kids is going into uncharted territory today. You're a video teacher, and we're going to be talking over a video you and the children in your daughter's child care center made together.
Yeah, Media Dada. All around here right now, I think.
Those little voices. How did you do this? What was the idea?
Well, my daughter's daycare center sent a flyer home to the parents saying, you know, any parent who wants to show and tell what they do for a living, please come in and do a presentation. So I had all this footage of my daughter, Sonia Marie Olson Hazard, and stills and videos and all kinds of stuff, ultrasounds and all this stuff. And I needed an excuse to try to get myself to work on it and to sort of organize it and produce it into some sort of a spot. And so I thought about this opportunity. I like to do things when people ask me to do things. I like to try to do them. And so I took this as an excuse to think about how to make a little video, and I thought of the name Media Dada, because that's what I do for a living. I'm a father who makes media. And I brought in a friend to do camera and a director, and the person that had been doing some of Sonia's daycare at home, Enid Griffin, Granny Enid. And because one of the things that I do for a living is I hire people to do specific jobs. So we came in with this team to make this video, working with these 3- and 4-year-old kids at the McDonald Montessori Daycare Center. And I brought masks, because I like masks. And what we did was, this is my daughter, Sonia Marie. Hi, Sonia. We recorded the kids doing performances with the masks, all of which related to media and how media is made. And then we also used the instruments laying around the room to improvise a soundtrack to go with it. And then I went away and edited this stuff into a short tape that we're watching now, Media Dada. And I've been using it in different ways, like we're using it right now, as a storytelling video. And I tell a story that's relevant to the context of the specific situation that I'm in, using this tape as the video component, as a kind of video bed for the story that I'm, like, for instance, how I'm trying to tell you now how this story came to be.
One of the things that's interesting is the children are sophisticated. These 3- and 4-year-olds are media sophisticated, just
that's true.
Responding to your direction and actually working with you.
Yeah. Well, at 3, that's at 2 that my daughter's seeing that face that's just behind on the Christmas tree. But at 2, my daughter knew that 2 and a half. My daughter knew that at 5 o'clock, Mr. Rogers was on Channel 2.
Yes, anytime since.
That's right. No, and also the pattern and the habit and the ritual and a desire. I mean, she liked Mr. Rogers at the time. Now he's too little. She's 7 now.
Beyond Barney, in fact.
Oh, don't even mention the word Barney.
Well, what do people say when you introduce yourself as Media Mike or Media Dada? Do you get expressions of concern for other parents that media already plays too big a role in our children's lives?
Well, in some ways it does. The problem is that we don't control it and we don't think about it. It's an unconscious control that it's had. I like teaching kids how to make media and to learn as I learned, learning by doing, because it empowers people of all ages, not just kids, but it empowers kids also, to really think about what is involved in making a TV show. And it takes a little of the mystery away, but it adds a little magic. But being conscious and aware of how it works and what's being presented to you is it's important. So that,
well, earlier you used the word, the more kids know about how media is produced, the less they can be manipulated by that media.
That's true. The next tape that we're going to watch is called The Mysterious Mask Motion Picture, and this was something that I made with some fourth graders at the Westview Elementary School in Apple Valley. And it basically took a theme of masks and explored how masks and media go together. And as I try to say, there are 4 good reasons for doing media with kids. One is that it's everywhere, so we have to deal with it. And 2 is that kids love media. They really love to click, you know, and see the world through that lens. 3 is that we really need to teach kids how it works so that they're not tricked by ads or whatever, by bad news or whatever. They need to know how it works. And 4 is that without media, there are things we don't know. Before we started rolling, we were talking about one way to think of this is with the Hubble telescope. Without that, we don't see maybe to the edge of the universe. And without the arthroscopic surgery, we don't see inside a knee, so that a doctor can maybe work on something that needs to be fixed. And so it's with media that we can go places. We can go way out and we can go way down to the macroscopic and the microscopic. So with those 4 things in mind, media is everywhere, kids love media, kids need to know how media work, and without media there are things we can't see. And you can say adults when you say kids, but I really think we're all people. You know, for those 4 reasons, I've really enjoyed bringing media to schools. So this next tape is about a 5-minute movie called The Mysterious Mask Motion Picture.
Bulldog Video presents.
And take 2.
Bulldog Video presents.
Rolling.
Action.
Mysterious Mask Motion Picture.
Cut.
Recording.
You're on.
Mysterious Mask Motion Picture.
Da, 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 da. Westview, you're the one. Lots of work, lots of fun. You're the home of the white and the blue. It's a place we go to learn and grow. To Westview will always be true. We are proud to be part of your family. We're a school that is next to none. Yes, we're proud to say in every way, Westview students are number 1.
I like my mask because it's original! If you don't like your face, get a mask.
And action.
If you don't like your face, get a mask. If you don't like your face, get a mask.
Mask can have a look that makes you look. Your face is a mask all the time because you change your face. Your face is a mask because you change your face all the time.
Masks make you look different.
A mask hides your face. My mask says practically nothing.
Masks are nice to have. Masks are nice to have.
When you look at a clown's mask, you might think of laughing. When you look at a witch's mask, you might think of talking. When you look at a sad face, you might think of crying.
A mask is a covering that disguises the face. Most masks have features of a human or an animal. For masquerades or Halloween costumes and different special occasions. A long time ago, animal-like masks might have been used for hunting. People use them sometimes for death masks. My mask shows a wacko doctor. Masks have spirit. Masks make you feel different.
Once more, okay?
Masks make you feel different. No mask is stupid.
Once more.
No mask is stupid.
Once more.
No mask is stupid. You can make masks out of anything.
Once more.
You can make masks out of anything. You can make a mask out of sorry.
Keep it going.
Mask sometimes changes your face. Some masks. Hold on. Some masks are made to look like people. My mask makes me different. Masks cover up your feelings inside. Masks make you look different on the inside and on the outside. A mask makes you feel cool and confident. Ah! My mask looks like a ghost. A mask is a work of art. Mask can scare away evil spirits. Masks are made in different countries and states. Masks can show us millions of feelings.
I don't know. I just can't figure out what I'm using, what I'm doing, or what I'm doing on the camera right here. What am I doing?
Special thanks to Rescue 4th graders, Compass, Media Mike, and Apple Valley High School ITC for supporting our motion picture.
I love 4th graders. They're so spontaneous, and those kids were really into that. You were an artist in residence in the school as part of the Compass program.
That's right, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love 4th graders too. This 8-9-year-old child has the physique and the physical ability to really handle tools with care, but they also have this kind of wide open thing. They're beginning to be a little self-conscious about which angle you're shooting me at, and that's why masks are sometimes useful for helping people. Everybody's a little uptight sometimes, and some people are a little uptight all the time with cameras, but masks help release that a little bit. But that 8 or 9-year-old kid just knows a lot about pictures and sounds, and they can start playing musical instruments, and they can act, and they can do a lot of different things. The next piece we're going to watch is also 8 and 9-year-old kids. It was done through the Science Museum of Minnesota video camp, and these kids, instead of it was another thematic approach. I like themes because it allows a lot of different energies to come into play, and so a kid that can write, and a kid that can play, and a kid that can use a mask, and a kid that can sing, and a kid that can use a camera, and a kid that can edit. All of the different energies come together, which is what making a video is all about. This was a little short. It's another 5-minute piece called Zoodoo. It was done last summer, the summer of 1993, as a Science Museum video camp. Should we watch it?
Let's watch it.
Zoodoo, zoodoo, let's do the zoo. 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 Zoodoo, zoodoo, and let's do the zoo.
Bah.
Penguins waddle when they walk.
Arctic dragon. It lives in the deeps of Alaska. It has a mouth full of sharp teeth. It has red eyes, and its voice sounds like a foghorn. It eats anything and everything. It has black, scaly skin that blends in the dark. None have been caught, and I hope none will.
Cut 2, 1.
See him? Right there.
Okay, so what's your job really here? Just to...
I am the trainer for the camels.
Okay.
I work here every day, and I take care of them and groom them and feed them.
Okay, how'd you get to become camel trainer?
I've been involved in the exotic animal world for about 15 years.
Okay.
And I've worked with a variety of different animals.
What's the camel's name?
This one is Nibbles.
How old is he?
She's 6.
How old do they get to be?
They can live up to 40.
Oh, wow.
More common is 30.
Okay. Are they boys or girls?
These are all females.
Okay. How old are the other ones? Are they about
The others
6?
are 4 to 8.
Okay. Thanks.
Zuda has been brought to you by Cheers Corporation, Solitaire Foundation, Media Mike Limited, Sam's Tape Rentals, Dewey Incorporated, Bags and Associates, Maher's Kitty Care, Kirscher and Company, and Wilford Brothers, with special thanks to Rosemount Low School and Science Museum of Mini Hippie. The end.
Those kids were having a ball at that experience too, Zoodoo. And now we have Walk on the Wild Side.
Take a Walk on the Wild
Take
Side.
a Walk on the Wild Side.
Yeah, this was the Parkway Elementary School on the east side of St. Paul, and another Compass workshop of 2nd, 3rd, and 4th graders. And again, it takes a theme of animals and looks at it in all different kinds of ways. And maybe we should take a
look at it.
Action! Purr, 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 purr. Parkway Panther Pictures presents Take a Walk on the Wild Side. Cut. Take a walk on the wild side. Take a walk on the wild side. Take a walk on the wild side.
Well, this mask didn't start out looking like this. No. This mask stared up at me from the ground. Way up north in Wisconsin, when I was up there tromping around all by myself, which I like to do sometimes, because it's so beautiful up there, and there isn't any junk, and there isn't anything going on except all kinds of animals flying around and crawling around and running around, and the beavers are chewing on things. And I like to go up there sometimes to this piece of land and just sit or walk around. Well, I was up there about a month ago, and I was walking around. In fact, I was trimming some trees that I planted up there. And all of a sudden, I noticed this. But it didn't look like this. No, if you can imagine this without the hair and without the teeth, without the beard, that's what it looked like. But I looked down at this thing, and it was looking up at me, and it had a very distressed look on its face. And so I decided I would pick this up and use this as a symbol for some of the things that are happening to our land. So I decided to make the teeth out of styrofoam, because sometimes people throw plastic junk all over the place, and when plastic junk is laying all over the place amongst the animals and the trees, it makes me very sad. So the teeth in this mask symbolize the anger that nature has for us sometimes when we don't take care of her. And that's what these plastic teeth are for. And so this mask is sort of a warning, isn't it? It's a warning to people that they better love and take care of their environment, or it will bite them when they're not looking. That's right. That's what this mask is all about. This mask is still being developed, but for me there's a lot to think about in this mask. It's sort of a warning mask. Sort of a warning mask. But there's still time to heed the warning.
One of the things that's fascinating about this kind of a project is you have children working at every aspect. They're taking the pictures, they're providing the music, they obviously were involved in the artwork. Mm-hmm. It's a real cooperative project, but it gives them some real experience in how television programs are put together.
That's right, yeah. I think I mentioned I love to teach the same way I learn, which is to learn by doing. And so every kid in every class, by the time we're done, has been behind the camera and in front of the camera. And I challenge kids when we're done to find themselves in the movie. Lots of times if they don't see themselves, you have to convince them to remind them that they wrote that story, or that was them behind the mask, or that they were the camera person or the director or the producer that was that was involved in that particular shot.
And that's important too, because I think often we think that the most important person on a television program or in a movie is the actor, the star.
Right. Yep.
And when you understand that in most cases somebody else wrote the script,
That's right.
wrote the
For
dialogue.
years I thought Johnny Carson was that funny by just standing up and talking. And that made the camera intimidating to me because I thought, I'm not that funny, you know, I don't know what to say. I didn't realize that there was a person standing there with these cue cards, you know, so that he was reading. Same way with the newscasters. That relates to that third idea of teaching kids how media works so that they can learn how to use it, and that's how it empowers people.
And understanding that, for instance, on this program it's Bill Berg and Rich Stein and the other guys on the crew who make us look good and sound good.
Right, and Dave Carlson back, and who was it on the...
Michael Aldridge.
Mike, right. And you...
I'm Gretchen.
You're the star, right? Gretchen the star. I try to teach not only learning by doing, but I try to teach a little bit about respect. I say there's 3 worlds of respect to bring into sync to make a video work. What's in front of the camera, that star or that turtle or that mask or that, you know, what's being shot, the tool itself, and then the person behind the camera, the director, the producer, the camera person, the sound person. And when everything is in sync, that's when you create a great story. If you respect what's in front of the camera, you respect the tool itself, and you respect yourself and have confidence in yourself, and you bring all 3 of those things into sync so that everyone is all working together. That's how you create a good video, I think. For me, that's part of the fun, seeing things around us, and kind of teaching people how to see. And that's what media is. It's a way to learn how to see. Have we left anything out?
Well, I think you're using media too to help children develop a lot of self-confidence, self-esteem, and they're working on other skills that translate across the curriculum. You've done a lot of work with children in poetry, I understand. So you're focusing on some of the, what we might think of the more traditional skills.
Yeah, bringing the painting for a title, the words from a poem. What I love about video is that it brings all of these things, the music teacher to sing, and in a way the camera to see. And if you can bring all of these different parts of the school together to create this thing, you not only get a sense of ownership, but you really learn things about yourself and the school that you may not have known before.
And the children have a totally different picture of their school, but probably a much more real one than the standard
in that video
shots.
that we were just watching, all of the kids knew where the dinosaurs were on the science teacher's refrigerator in the room upstairs, where all of those weird animals were, but not all the teachers knew, see? And so one of the things that I like to teach is how, by the use of this tool, this camera, we see things that we never saw before. And part of the pleasure that I get out of teaching is not just teaching kids how to see, but also seeing myself. And if I'm not learning something new, seeing something I've never seen before, I don't get the same kind of pleasure as the students do. And when it works, it's because all of those things come into sync together.
And that's the secret of good teaching and good learning. Thanks, Mike Hazard, for being with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Mike Hazard. You have an interesting way of teaching television to youngsters. Thanks to all of you for joining us on All About Kids. Please tune in again.
This has been a presentation of Hennepin County Library in conjunction with the Twin Cities Metropolitan Library Service Agency.